afternoon. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to afternoon news source only here at Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For this afternoon's headlines. A constitutional law expert said the Senate impeachment court's review of Sara Duterte's finances could also cover the assets of her husband Manasseh Carpio, since Philippine law generally treats property acquired during marriage as jointly owned. Meralco will implement a 9.5 billion pesos refund over the next 6 months, with residential customers receiving an average rebate of about 0.5861 pesos per kilowatt hour following regulatory approval. Win Gatchalian rejected Amy Marquez's criticism of the Senate's legislative performance, saying all senators share responsibility for the institution's accomplishments and shortcomings. Mindanao Civic Center has earned FIFA's third field certification, allowing the sports complex to host international football matches and boosting Lanao del Norte's bid to become a premier sports destination. Donald Trump said the United States and Israel will hold off on new strikes against Iran provided a deal to end the months-long conflict is reached quickly. World Bank approved a $250.87 million loan to expand climate-resilient water and sanitation services in Bohol, Siargao, and Jolo, marking its first financing for the Philippines since its upgrade to upper middle-income status. Celeste Cortesi will star in the reality series Celeste Unscripted, offering an intimate look at her life beyond pageantry as she builds her beauty business and prepares for the arrival of her first child. Shani Tagawa delivered a standout performance to power Akari to a thrilling victory in the South Cotabato leg of the 2026 PVL On Tour Showdown. Today is the 3rd of August 2026, Monday, and I'm Chynna Basillaje bringing you today's top stories. Let's move on to this afternoon's headlines. A constitutional law expert said the Senate impeachment court's review of Vice President Sara Duterte's finances may also cover the assets of her husband Manasseh Carpio because property acquired during marriage is generally considered jointly owned. Former Integrated Bar of the Philippines President Domingo Cayosa said married public officials must also declare their spouse's assets in their SALNs. The issue surfaced after the impeachment court received the couple's tax, financial, and AMLC records. Carpio and Duterte's defense continue to oppose the subpoenas, arguing they violate taxpayer confidentiality and constitutional protections. Meralco will refund 9.5 billion pesos to customers over the next 6 months after the Energy Regulatory Commission approved its tariff true-up application with modifications. The refund averages 0.3448 pesos per kilowatt hour, with residential customers receiving around 0.5861 pesos per kilowatt hour in bill credits. The ERC increased the refund by adding 496 million pesos in interest, bringing the total to 9.51 billion pesos. The refund, which will appear as a separate AWAT refund or slash collect line on monthly bills, covers excess collections identified through the mandatory tariff true-up process. And Senate President Win Gatchalian rejected Senator Amy Marquez's criticism that the Senate deserved a failing grade for passing only 2 of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 52 priority bills in its first year. Gatchalian said all senators share responsibility for the chamber's performance. He acknowledged that leadership changes, political disputes, and Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial slowed legislative work but urged lawmakers to unite behind the administration's priority measures. He added that wrapping up the impeachment trial sooner would allow the Senate to refocus on passing key economic and business bills. And the Mindanao Civic Center in Tubod, Lanao del Norte has received FIFA's third field certification, allowing the 71-hectare sports complex to host international football matches. Officials said the certification strengthened the province's bid to become a premier sports destination in Mindanao while boosting tourism and the local economy. Designed by national artist Francisco Bobby Manyosa, the complex features a football stadium, gymnasium, swimming pool, hotel, and trade center. It is also being considered as a Philippine Sports Commission training hub and will host Philippine Football League and PVL games this August. And President Donald Trump said the United States and Israel have agreed to delay new strikes on Iran provided a deal to end the conflict is reached quickly. Trump said U.S. forces remain ready to act if needed, adding that the pause followed requests from Middle Eastern nations and diplomatic efforts involving Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey. Iran, however, denied asking the U.S. to hold off on attacks and said its military remains on high alert. Trump also said any agreement must reopen the Strait of Hormuz and address Iran's nuclear program. And the World Bank has approved a $250.87 million loan for the Philippines Accelerated Water and Sanitation Project, its first financing for the country since it attained upper middle income status. The project will expand climate-resilient water and sanitation services in Bohol, Siargao, and Jolo. Led by the DPWH and DILG, it aims to improve water access, strengthen local water providers, and boost climate resilience. Officials estimate the project will create 8,700 jobs over the next 5 years while supporting long-term economic and tourism growth. And Philippine shares traded higher at the market recess with the benchmark PSEI climbing 99.08 points or 1.59% to 6,335.52. The All Shares Index also advanced 35.44 points or 1.04% to 3,430.49. Services led sectoral gains with 3.10%, followed by financials at 1.61%, mining and oil at 0.70%, holding firms at 0.57%, and industrial at 0.29%. Meanwhile, property was the lone decliner, slipping 0.25%. And former Miss Universe Philippines Celeste Cortesi is set to headline Celeste Unscripted, an 8-episode reality series premiering on GTV on August 8 and globally on GMA Live TV on August 15. The show follows Cortesi beyond pageantry as she grows her beauty business, prepares for the birth of her first child, and shares life with her partner, businessman Jonathan Sterling. Cortesi said the series reflects her advocacy for authenticity by showing the unfiltered moments of her personal life, relationships, and journey into motherhood. And in sports, Akari notched its first win in the 2026 PVL On Tour Showdown, defeating Chocomucho in 4 sets in South Cotabato behind a game-high 19 points from Chenny Tagaud. The Tagum City native finished with 11 attacks, 6 kill blocks, and 2 aces. Tagaud said she drew inspiration from having her family in the crowd and was proud to represent Mindanao on home soil. She also hopes her performance will inspire young volleyball players in the region. Akari returns to Mindanao on August 15 to face PLDT in Lanao del Norte. And mga katribo, did you know today, August 3, is National Watermelon Day, a celebration dedicated to one of the world's most refreshing and widely enjoyed fruits. Watermelon is made up of about 92% water, making it an excellent fruit for staying hydrated, especially during hot weather. It is also a good source of vitamins A and C, along with antioxidants that support overall health. Viral now on TikTok is a video posted by Suki Watsu which has garnered 1.2 million views and over 240,000 likes. The clip features a group of students riding a seemingly prison truck which resembles a scene in the international sci-fi film Hunger Games. The comments were filled with several jokes from netizens, with one saying, "We're rooting for you, Katniss de la Cruz, BB save Katniss to 2366. That's all for now. Join us again at 4:30 p.m. still here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Once again, I'm Chynna Basillaje, and this has been Tribune News on Q.